The state government has promised to close a legal loophole which has allowed a convicted drug trafficker to continue living in his taxpayer-subsidised flat. The man successfully appealed against his eviction from a public housing unit in Flemington, even though he was caught selling heroin to an undercover police officer.
This public housing estate in Flemington was the target of a covert police sting in 2009. A tenant was caught selling heroin to an undercover officer on 3 separate occasions. He pleaded guilty to drug trafficking and was served an eviction notice. But the man launched a legal fight to stay put and won.
I think that the taxpayer would expect that people who are conducting illegal activities should be evicted from public housing.
The Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal ruled the man could not be evicted because the drug deals were on common ground, not inside the man's apartment. The Premier says he's shocked by the case.
We'll do whatever it takes to close that loophole, and we will take a zero-tolerance approach to anybody dealing drugs in public housing.
I don't think anybody could have possibly predicted that outcome. And what's clear is that now that we do have this loophole, it needs to be closed, and we will support the government in those endeavours.
The move could free up public housing places for some of the 40,000 people on the waiting list, but some warn vulnerable people could be forced onto the streets.
The more appropriate and more effective response, and importantly the most cost-efficient response, is to actually keep people in stable housing, to encourage their rehabilitation and access to services.
The Housing Minister says she'll introduce legislation to amend the Residential Tenancies Act within weeks. Frances Bell, ABC News, Melbourne.